What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is tonibryanne, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing the downfall of Ice Spice. Ice Spice went from the princess of rap to nearly being eradicated from the entire rap industry. We went from hearing her name everywhere to now people making fun of her everywhere and wondering where the heck is Ice Spice. Well, in today's video, we'll be breaking down all of her controversies, why she may have not made it in this rap game, and if she will ever be able to make a name for herself again. But before we get into today's video, you guys know I like to start off every video with a little bit of positivity. So first, let's start off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "I understand that sometimes I need to go through challenges to grow." Today's verse of the day is Romans chapter 12, verse 12, and it reads, "Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer." Please be sure you guys are following me on all my social media platforms. I'm available on Instagram and TikTok as well as YouTube. Follow my main Instagram page at tonibryanne TV, and also follow my page that has to do with this channel, TBTV Clips on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok with my main page being tonibryanne TV and tonibryanne TV Clips, and I also have a podcast called The Decision Podcast. That podcast is all about how one choice can impact your entire life, and if you want to be a guest on that podcast, the Google form is linked down below. Also, this channel right here is a podcast too. So if you guys want to listen to me, or you guys are not able to watch me on YouTube, you guys can now watch me on the go, or whether you're doing laundry or washing dishes, you can now listen to me without having to watch me on screens. I'm available on all audio streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Audible. So if you guys want to continue supporting me, all of those things will be linked down below. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to tonibryanne TV. We are on the road to 300,000 subscribers. So all of your support means so very much. We are nearly there. I feel like I've been clawing to get to 300K for the past year, I would say, because it was climbing, and it has really been plateauing lately. So all your support would be really helpful. But yeah, you guys, that is all of the housekeeping. So without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video.
Taking you in this moment.
Ice Spice, whose real name is Isis Gaston, emerged from the Bronx drill scene in 2022. Her viral hit, Munch, literally catapulted her into fame. Very quickly, she became one of the most talked about new rap stars. By early 2023, she had major co-signers. Drake praised her, he followed her, he seemed to love her, and even Nicki Minaj, who was known to be the queen of rap, collaborated with her on her song Princess Diana, the remix. And even Taylor Swift enlisted her for a remix of her song Karma. Ice Spice's breakout was undeniable, and she even landed a song on the Barbie movie soundtrack. At her peak, Ice Spice reached 35 to 40 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and as I stated, fans crowned her the rap princess. She got herself 4 Hot 100 top 10 hits, mostly through collaborations, but nonetheless a major accomplishment. But by mid-2024, a different narrative started forming about her. It seemed the clout had gone to her head. In just a year, her Spotify listenership had dropped by 25 million. She is now down to about 16 million monthly listeners, which in itself is a major accomplishment, but when you compare it to 40 million, it is a steep drop. This led a lot of industry observers and fans to begin asking, has Ice Spice officially fallen off?
Y'all, this is so random, but where did Ice Spice go? I've not heard anyone talk about her in such a long time. I haven't even heard her music in a year. See, nobody talk about her anymore. Does she still make music?
You had some people even alleging that this was meant to happen because she was an industry plant. So if you guys do not know what an industry plant is.
Oh, Ice Spice is literally one of the biggest industry plants of all time. I literally remember watching in real time as they flooded the internet with bot content, bot comments, bot fan pages. It was literally actually so ridiculous.
An industry plant is largely accepted to mean an artist who presents themselves as being independent and doing things on their own terms, but secretly has the industry backing and money to fund them and to artificially shape such a narrative. So people believe an industry plant gained fame due to them having support from major record labels or knowing people behind the scenes instead of for their talent. And people called Miss Ice Spice an industry plant because of how quickly she landed features, branding deals, and label backing.
So Ice Spice's claim to fame, Munch, that came out in 2022, has no chart data. No chart data. There is zero public information about Munch because it really wasn't being streamed. It wasn't being streamed. It wasn't being bought. At that time when that song came out, TikTok Reels, you know, all of that, it did not count towards chart data. So even though we were seeing the content everywhere, I mean, those 30-second clips, no one was actually streaming the music. Same thing with her next single, Bikini Bottom, no sales data at all. Like I said, virality all over social media. Social media hits did not count as sales data.
I mean, for her to get Nicki Minaj on her remix so early in her career is astronomical. And even getting a feature on a Taylor Swift song, it is absurd. Ice Spice was literally everywhere. She was in Dunkin' Donuts commercials. She was getting pushed by so many people, but it seemed that her lyrics and even her talent was very lackluster. So today we're going to look at her streaming numbers, her chart performance, public perception, cultural backlash, social media memes, and brand partnerships. And we'll finally ask ourselves, is Ice Spice officially done in this industry? Or is this just the natural fall of someone that had an explosive start off in their career? So let's start off with her commercial performance. So after her breakout year, Ice Spice's commercial metrics in 2024 showed mixed signs. She released her debut album Y2K in July 2024, but its chart and sale figures did not do very well. The album debuted at number 18 on the Billboard 200s, but it only moved about 28,000 units in its first week. Now let me remind you guys, this girl had 40 million monthly listeners. So for her to only sell 28,000 units in its first week, that is seen as a flop. And those 28,000 units sold are her highest sales week so far. And that is once again very low for the amount of hype that was surrounding her.
The numbers are in, and Ice Spice's Y2K debuted at number 18 on this week's Billboard 200 with 28,000 copies sold. Ice Spice saw the numbers for her most recent project, and she took to her ex to get a couple of things off her chest. She said, like did 15K, so thank you to everyone who supported me then, and thank you to all the new supporters. Y2K World Tour has been so fun that these numbers are cool. You should have seen that Boston crowd last night. NYC tomorrow.
So more shocking was the deluxe edition of the album. She released this on Christmas Day in 2024. Now, a lot of people said they did not even know that this was released, including myself. I was shocked because I remember when Ice Spice dropped her first album, I feel like everybody was talking about it. It was a major deal. But this time around, nobody knew. Now, you can argue that it was because she released it on Christmas Day when people are spending time with families and they're not really checking for artists' new songs. However, if that was Beyonce that dropped her album on Christmas Day, I guarantee you it would be the talk of the town. So this album release only moved about 4,800 units in its first week, which is a surprisingly low figure even in today's streaming era. And as y'all know, haters and fans mock the numbers, especially with someone like Ice Spice, who a lot of people felt that she did not deserve the fame she initially got. A lot of critics speculated that her momentum had stalled, and not just stalled, but stalled drastically.
The way Ice Spice fell off needs to be studied. She went from having top 10 hits with artists like Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift to her most recent deluxe album, only selling 4,800 copies in the first week. Ice Spice recently came out with a project called Y2K, I'm Just a Girl. It is the deluxe edition follow-up to her album Y2K, and it was released December 25th, 2024. The initial part of the album Y2K was released on July 26th, 2024, and as you guys can see, she had a bonus to that follow-up album that was released in August. So this is essentially her third time releasing a variation of this album. Now, after seeing her most recent project was only going to move 4,800 units, people wasted no time chiming in. Somebody saying her label is about to drop her. She better stick to modeling and Instagram. Another person said it was a miscalculation. It was actually 48,000 units. Stop playing with the princess of rap. Ooh.
Now, you have a lot of her defenders pointing out that the deluxe dropped midweek and it only tracked for a few days, and that it also is mostly repackaged old songs of hers. And I even added in here that it was on Christmas Day, so that may have been a reason as well. But still, the perception of underperformance stuck, and people were saying that Ice Spice was officially in her flop era. And unfortunately, this wasn't just her albums. Her singles also failed to replicate her breakout success. So her song Thank You the Ish that goes, think you the ish, B, you're not even a fart, okay? That song went pretty viral on TikTok, but it only debuted at number 37 in January 2024. And it only went viral pre-release thanks to TikTok. And that was because people were making fun of it and treating the song as a meme, meaning that they weren't really taking her seriously as an artist. So this may have been the start of the downfall of Ice Spice's career.
Ice Spice recently released a song, and I'm going to tell you what the song's title is. It's called Think You the Fart. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the title of the song. It's called Think You the Fart. And if you're wondering whether or not it's a good song, what do you think? It's called Think You the Fart. Can all admit that we've fallen as a society. I mean, I wouldn't say that that was Mozart or Beethoven, but I'm not all of these mainstream media publications that routinely rush to defend this kind of music, similar to what they did with WAP, the most disgusting and filthiest lyrics that I've ever read. NewHipHop.com rushing to defend this beautiful song that you just heard. Ice Spice employs direct and unapologetic language to establish dominance over her peers, touching on the themes of wealth, physical appeal, and personal prowess. This is the reason that nobody reads this crap anymore. You guys lie about the big stuff and you lie about the dumb stuff. I just want to live in a society where we can all acknowledge that a song that's entitled Think You the Fart is in fact itself a fart. That's where I want to live. I don't know. Can we get back to that? I don't know. Let's move on.
Now, when the song finally released, it peaked early, but it fell quickly. And by the end of the year, Variety named it one of the worst songs of 2024. So then she had a follow-up song called Gimme a Light that was sampled by Sean Paul. But this song failed to even enter the Hot 100. And it only charted in New Zealand, a very small country.
Ice Spice single Gimme a Light flops and will not be making the Billboard's top 100. God damn. The low views continue. The low listeners continue.
A lot of reviews called it solid but unremarkable, and in my personal opinion, I thought that the song was not good at all, okay? I couldn't understand what she was saying, she was slurring her words, and it sounded very similar to the songs that she already released. We did not see her progress as an artist through the release of this song. And not only was she not improving, it seemed as if she was getting worse. Her songs felt like they were just lazy lyrics being put out in order to make a quick buck. So people started getting bored of her and did not care to check in, and that showed even in her streaming numbers. So at Ice Spice's peak in 2023, she had 30 million plus monthly Spotify listeners. And like I said, by this year, she has only 13 to 14 million Spotify listeners. That is a 60% drop in less than 2 years, which is drastic. Her tour numbers reflected this too. Her Y2K tour grossed $640,000 across mid-sized venues. Now, it's not a complete bust, but it's very modest compared to her image. And I'm a person that went to the Ice Spice concert because the concert was literally a 5-minute walk from my old apartment. And when I tell you guys, I didn't even put this online because I felt like it'd be really mean and messy to put out there because I felt like people were already attacking her. But y'all, the ticket that I got, and the only reason why I got it, because I like Ice Spice, but not enough to like see her in concert, but it's because the ticket was $7. I paid $7 to see Ice Spice, and the venue that we were in was a very small venue for like smaller artists. Someone that was as big as Ice Spice and that was constantly going viral, I thought she'd be able to sell out an arena. But unfortunately, that venue fit perfectly for all the people that were there. And a lot of her fans were mainly like high school, maybe college kids. But I was shocked at how cheap the tickets were. It's almost as if they were throwing tickets at people so people can come. But I mean, I guess it worked because me and my friends who don't really listen to Ice Spice or like wouldn't really pay hundreds of dollars to go to an Ice Spice concert, we paid for it and we filled up the room because the tickets were so cheap. And maybe that's why a lot of high school and college kids were there too, because the tickets were under $10. They were so inexpensive. Okay, let's take a quick pause because though Ice Spice's music might be a hit or miss these days, your dinner does not have to be. I've been using EveryPlate recently, and honestly, I've been so obsessed. Think you need to spend big money or hours in the kitchen to make a good meal? Well, think again. EveryPlate sends you fresh ingredients and recipes that are so easy, like the crispy buffalo ranch chicken or even the cheesy street Mexican corn hash. And they actually taste like something you would purchase at a restaurant. What I love about it is that it's cheaper than my grocery bill, meal, and sometimes even cheaper than when I go out to eat at these restaurants these days. Plus, I don't get stuck cooking the same 3 meals on repeat. EveryPlate switches up their menu every week, and every meal is completed within 30 minutes or less. So if you're ready to make dinner the easiest part of your day, new customers can get meals for just $1.99. Yes, you heard that right, $1.99. Go to everyplate.com/podcast and use code Toni199 so that you can grab that deal. Everything will be linked in the description box down below as well. Now let's get back into this Ice Spice video. Ice Spice has recently had a very controversial event happen, and this was at the Wildlands Festival. So in January of this year, January 2025, she arrived late to her set. The crowd booed, her mic was cut off. The crowd booed because they were so upset about this, and her mic was even cut off. Clips of this moment went viral, which was a symbol of her rocky start to 2025. And I will say, when I went to her concert in summer of 2024, when she was in Atlanta, Georgia, she came significantly late, like almost 3 hours late. I was contemplating leaving because she was taking so long. And I think this was the start of the public's perception of her, feeling like she felt she was too cool for school and too good to show up at concerts on time, though her tickets were $7 to $10. No tea, no shade. But bottom line, her commercial peak success is clearly a thing of the past, but numbers are just one aspect of the story. Let's now get into Ice Spice's media and cultural perception. Ice Spice's media coverage in both 2024 and 2025 has been split. On one hand, critics still praise her distinct style and say that she's super unique. The AP called the Y2K album hot, short, and sweet, and Rolling Stone even said it shows plenty of promise. They credited her with catchy slang, bold fashion, and a very fun persona. But critics are also harsher about her. Well-known American music critic by the name of Anthony Fantano called the album a, quote, nothing burger.
She's obviously not trying to make a splash with this thing in terms of giving fans a lot of material to go off of. But yeah, for the most part, Y2K just kind of feels like an album in name and in name only. Ice Spice meeting that bare minimum 10-track requirement just to show that she could. Because even if we are getting 10 songs on this thing, I don't feel like we're getting 10 fresh, interesting, distinct ideas.
He said the songs recycle the same flows, and he even joked her potty humor puts her on par with Lil Pump.
Mostly because the vast majority of everything on this record is so recycled and self-referential. As Miss Spice hits most of these songs with the same flows we've heard again and again and again, same vocal deliveries, same drill-influenced grooves, a lot of third-person references to herself being a baddie, the fact that she's thick, people she's better than or flirting with. Also, of course, a heaping helping of poop and diaper jokes to get a rise out of people. She truly has a lack of lyrical versatility that gives guys like Lil Pump a run for their money, which would be fine if the choruses on this thing actually popped off, but often they don't. I mean, Thank You the Shit is probably the biggest standout on the entire LP, but even the main refrain on that one feels mostly like a joke just thrown in to troll people.
And as I stated earlier, Variety listed her song Fart as one of the worst songs of 2024. And it wasn't just Variety and Anthony talking crap about Ice Spice. Online, memes, and fans constantly mocked her lyrics.
They don't know that I came from the mud. They don't know that I really am Bud. They don't know that I really like. They don't know that I really like poopy. They don't know that I really like poopy. They do know that I really like poopy. They know that I really like poopy. They know that I will get shooty. They know that hold on. They know that I came from the mud. They know that I really am Bud. They know that I like my poopy. They know that I get real shooty. Yeah, that's good. Get real shooty. Gra. They don't know that I came from the mud. They don't know that I really am Bud. They don't know that I like my poopy. They don't know that I get real shooty. Gra. Yes, that's good.
Like, I really just want this one to mean something for real, you know? Like, people just don't understand what I've been through. Like, let's get into it. I used to cry. I used to cry. Like, why did you lie? Yeah, because why would you lie to me? You know, like, okay. I used to cry. Like, why did you lie? You said hi and I should have said bye. I shouldn't have said nothing to you for real. Like, I used to cry. Like, why did you lie? You said hi and I should have said bye. You wasted my time. Definitely wasted my time. Like, I could have been famous.
Saying she went from the hottest artist out to just being a rapper that raps about poop.
People really started noticing something very interesting with Ice Spice, talking about poop all the time in her songs. I'm finna poo on these bitches like Winnie. Not bad. Good little pun, okay? Not that serious. Shitting on bitches, my hobby. I be going dumb and I'm feeling euphoric. This one was just kind of getting me for a second. I'll take hey a bitch. I'm grimy. Like dirt in a ditch, you might be. I poo on a bitch. I'm shiesty. Shitting on bitches, no potty. It's giving poop kink. It's giving poop kink.
And other people accused her of being an industry plant, talking about her rapid rise, collaborations, and brand deals looked too perfect and unrealistic for an artist. Now, her live performances also fueled a lot of criticism. People accused her of lip singing, stated that she had a low energy stage presence, and she had absolutely no artist development.
My girl is so tired, bro. She's so tired. Get her off that damn stage. If I showed you this picture of Ice Spice without context, you would never think she's doing what she's doing. Ever since that Bikini Bottom song dropped, you've been having her dance like a monkey in a cage. Her next album's gonna be all melodies and lullabies, no 808s, no bass hits. She is done dancing for her. Ice Spice, go take a nap.
Ice Spice gets called out for being boring on stage, so you got people calling Ice Spice out for her performance, basically saying it was boring. People was in that joint yawning. It was tired. It was like, man, what's going on out here? They ain't even looking at her like that. I'm like, damn.
And I will say, when you watch her on stage, it is a little bit odd that she does not really move. She always seems pretty bored. I mean, her dancers seem to be the star of the show. When I went to her concert, she did give a bit more energy. Okay, I was like, okay, she's improving, she's getting better. But then she had the 2025 festival situation where once again, she was giving that lackluster effort. And that's what further fueled people considering her an industry plant, because it didn't seem she wanted to try to better herself and better her craft. Her lyrics stay the same, her stage presence stayed the same, and her efforts seemed to be the same. Even on SNL, her performance was called incredibly underwhelming.
Yes, give us nothing. The dancers in the back are eating though. She's one of those girls that's really just good on Spotify. Like, it's really good on a random playlist when you at home getting drunk, or a pregame situation. She's a really good pregame song moment. Or if you in the club and this comes on, it's really one of those good moments, and that's just what it is. This is boring. This almost makes me miss Sweetie's performance on SNL when she did Twerk That Error for an Icy Chain. You know that was my shit. But she at least gave us something to be like, you know what, come on, bitch. This is like, like a little talent show, contestant performance situation. I don't know, Ice Spice, you're too successful now to be looking like this on stage. I don't know, the outfit is boring, but all her outfits be boring to me. Nothing is like, she's not a fashion girl, you know, it's more of just like, she's just a cute girl. I feel like it's not gonna pick up from here. It's not going to pick up from here, but let's see.
Yet I will say not all of her coverage has been negative. Some have argued that her decline is just a natural post-hype drop, and her fan base still defends her fiercely, with Nicki Minaj still calling her the princess of rap. But that wasn't until long, and this is all the controversies that Ice Spice went under last year. This is an ad by BetterHelp. These days, it feels like there's advice for everything online. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes, go for a walk. But how do you know that this actually works for you? Honestly, sometimes all of that conflicting information can get so overwhelming, and it actually makes it harder to take care of yourself. That's why I want to share with you and tell you about BetterHelp. With over 30,000 licensed therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, and they've already helped over 5 million people. It's not just for people going through a major crisis. stress. Therapy can help you learn healthy coping mechanisms, set boundaries, and honestly just feel like the best version of yourself. BetterHelp makes it super convenient too. You can start sessions from your phone or your laptop. And if you don't click with your therapist, you can switch anytime. And it actually works. The platform has over 4.9 out of 5 stars among 1.7 million reviews. So if you've been thinking about trying out therapy or just need support figuring out your next steps, talk it out with BetterHelp. My listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp. Just go on betterhelp.com/ToniBryanne. That's BETTERHELP.com/ToniBryanne. So in 2024, fellow rapper Cleotrapa accused Ice Spice of mistreatment. So she went on tour with Ice Spice, who she considered to be a friend, and people constantly saw Cleotrapa and Ice Spice together, calling them this dynamic duo. Now, Cleotrapa accuses Ice Spice for doing that on purpose because she wanted to protect her image and protect the fact that she was a colorist.
When it comes to Ice Spice and like conversations about colorism, have y'all noticed how weird she low-key acts when it comes up? Like, I feel like Ice Spice is one of those girls who's like, well, at least I'm mixed and my skin and I'm pretty, so I'm okay. Hearing her ex-friend Cleo's story time, who the F was I friends with, kind of sealed the deal for me that she is just really weird in regards to like dark-skinned people, you know? The thing is, if you really think about Ice Spice, she wasn't really hiding it from us. I remember there was an interview that she made, I want to say it was like last year, where someone asked her like, how does it feel about like, you know, you being like, you know, popular, and people saying like, it's because you're light-skinned. And in the interview, she had this weird comment about like how, you know, she works hard and how people are trying to like eliminate her hard work because she's light-skinned or some BS like that. Like, girl, bye.
Cleotrapa is a dark-skinned rapper, and it did kind of boost up Ice Spice's image because people thought that Ice Spice was like cool to hang out with a dark-skinned girl and didn't think she was too uppity. But Cleotrapa called Ice Spice out when she went on tour with her. She claimed Ice Spice made her pay for her own hotels, left her out of meals, and even left her purse unattended, leading to stolen money. Cleotrapa did a whole story time with multiple clips, and I will say I was one of the people that sat and watched every single one of them while I was washing my dishes, and it was very entertaining.
Okay, so Ice Spice invited Cleotrapa on tour with her to perform. You know, that looks good. Oh, that's my homegirl, that's my friend, I'm inviting her out. It looks good. That's what Cleotrapa thought, right? But the first red flag was that her name was not on none of the flyers, none of the promo. Nobody knew that she was performing. And mind you, other artists were on the flyer. So Cleo took it amongst herself to make her own flyers to let people know that she was performing. She tagged Ice Spice in it. Ice Spice didn't share it, comment on it, nothing. She didn't acknowledge it. Another thing, Ice Spice asked her literally a day before the tour was starting. She had no time to prepare, so she was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna make the best out of this situation because this is a big opportunity. So she decides to go forth with it. She asks Ice Spice if she needs to pay for anything, and Ice Spice like, nah, girl, you good. I got you. You gonna be with me. So the first show comes, and Ice Spice tells Cleo to bring her bags to the venue because it was just smart to do. Ice Spice's security grabs all the bags. They put them in the venue for them. It was no problem. When the show was over and it was time to take the bags back, all their bags was together. Cleo's bag, Cleo had one bag. Ice Spice had 10, however many. That's what Cleo said. The security took all of Ice Spice's bag and left Cleo's single bag right there. So she had to take her own bag out of the venue while it was raining and fans were trying to get pictures. She said she felt humiliated and embarrassed. Mind you, Ice Spice was sitting in the car waiting for her to get in there. Cleo confronted Ice about it, and Ice said that the security guard is paid a flat fee and he's gonna want more money if he feels like he's doing more work. And from that point forward, she felt like since she confronted Ice that everything just got worse because Ice doesn't like being confronted. She doesn't want to be told about herself. She feels like she's famous and she's above everybody, so you can't step to her, you can't tell her nothing. So after that, Cleo was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep everything to myself. I'm gonna just swallow it and take it on the chin. I'm gonna get through the rest of this tour. Now they did share a dressing room. Ice Spice did allow her in there to get ready, but she gave the vibes of like, you know, I don't really want nobody in here, you know, I want my space. It was never welcoming for Cleo. So after Cleo would get dressed, she would leave out of the dressing room to give her space. And one day she left her bag in there, and an hour later she said she noticed that her bag was outside Ice Spice's door. And allegedly somehow somebody spent $700 on her car at a designer store, and that card was in that bag that was left outside of Ice Spice's door. That was another thing that she took on her chin. She decided not to say anything about. So now it's time to go to the room. They get to a 5-star hotel, and in front of different people, Ice Spice asks Cleo, you're not gonna get your own room? And Cleo's like, huh? You know, like, I wasn't expecting this. You told me I wouldn't have to worry about nothing. Like, she didn't say that in front of everybody, but that's what Cleo was thinking. So to be expecting her to pay for 5-star hotels every city that y'all travel to, it's kind of crazy. So Cleo was thinking about calling it quits and just leaving. Like, I didn't sign up for this. You know what I'm saying? This was unexpected. I wasn't prepared for it. The hairstylist talked her out of it. She was like, you know what, Cleo, you can come sleep in my room during the tour. Everywhere we go, you can sleep with me. And I thought that was so cool. So she brought her in as a homegirl, you know, and both of them felt like they mutually made the tour better. Like, you know, she was glad that Cleo was was there and Cleo was glad that she was there. She was not considered in the budget for food, so she had to get her own food. She would have had to pay for her own hotel rooms if Khadijah, the hairstylist, didn't look out for her. The security guards didn't want to move her bag. Ice Spice didn't want her in the dressing room with her. It just never gave friendship at all. And she was asked the day before the tour even started. Somebody invites you to something last minute, they probably really didn't care for you to go in the first place. So after the tour is over, Cleo sends Ice a long message explaining everything that happened and that she felt unwelcomed and it wasn't a pleasant experience. And all that Ice Spice got out of it was that she was complaining about a room. She called her an ungrateful bum. And to me, this just really showed the person that Ice Spice is. Her responses told me that everything that Cleo said was true and that she's just no good. She lacked empathy. She didn't care about what she went through. It gave very much Mean Girl vibes. I wanted to see you struggle. You know what I mean? She wanted to make herself look good because she was in heat with that last situation with her last friend. I'm glad that Cleo exposed the situation, exposed her for who she is, and now everybody gets to see and decide how they feel about her and how they're going to further support Ice.
These accusations went absolutely viral, and Ice Spice lost 500,000 followers. And people started labeling Ice Spice as entitled and a mean girl. And quite frankly, Ice Spice's response did not help. Where she could have just apologized and moved on from the situation, she instead decided to joke about the dinner on Twitter, mocking Cleotrapa's story.
Like, you sound dumb as hell. If anything, we both need saving. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, we was at the movie theaters. We was siphoned. You not gonna tell the people how we was at an Italian restaurant and you ate so much food, you vacuum, that the server was like, where did the food go? Like, stop it right now. You talking about she ain't let me to the back of her room on her tour bus. She had this big room. Can I play with my one time? In my bed one time? Like, damn, you want to sleep in my bed every day? That's crazy to me. Anyways, yeah, I'm about to actually go to sleep for real this time.
And many people jumped in defending Cleotrapa, including rapper Azalea Banks. And this wasn't just the only beef that Ice Spice had with a friend. Around the same time, Ice Spice's friend, Baby Storme, who is also a singer and songwriter plus an online personality, she accused Ice Spice of bullying her in school. Storme released alleged texts where Ice Spice insulted Nicki Minaj, saying that she should be thankful, the Nicki Minaj should be thankful, that she put her on. She, in quotes, said that Nicki Minaj, was ungrateful and delusional. Now, even if all these claims were not necessarily true, her image was completely damaged. People were calling her Orphan Annie after Cardi B said something about her hair. People on TikTok were joking that her 15 minutes of fame were up. People were calling her lackluster, saying they did not understand how she even got famous. Basically, everybody's mean thoughts that they already had about Ice Spice was plastered online, and her virality slowed down. Her new songs weren't dominating TikTok the way Munch did and all of her other songs like She and Hamoud did, and her engagement dipped completely. She went from getting millions of likes on her pictures to getting a few hundred thousands.
Listen, Ice Spice, start considering retirement. Yeah, please. Start considering retirement and bring that pension plan from the back of your mind. Bring it forward, yeah? Because you've tried, but we're tired. You can't keep shaking your bum for the audience. I think everyone's gonna jump out of their bones and start celebrating because you're shaking your bum for the world. No, ladder. When countries experience earthquakes, they adapt immediately. And that's the same with us. Keep shaking your bum, keep doing all these sexual things for us. We get bored immediately and we adapt instantly. Has shame reduced in capacity in these last few years? Because when I witnessed you at the BET Awards shaking your bum for the globe, everybody's sitting there like toast. Come on, please. That should be your initial thought. Maybe this is time. Maybe it's time to start thinking of new ideas and new plans, because you can't keep doing this. I'm going to allow you because you just dropped a banger right now. You see that banger you just dropped? You see the money you receive from it? Start saving it now, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. You need to buck up your ideas and start becoming innovative, because you can't use your bum anymore. Anybody can make a bum nowadays. You're not the only one. I see what you're doing. We know how the game works. Yeah, I see what you're doing with Central C. But Lada, he's going to use you as well, baby cakes. Use you in the department of music, nowhere else. Sorry, I'm not involved. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
But the question goes, did Ice Spice really fall off? Because she seems to be doing pretty well in terms of brand deals. She landed a Mercedes-Benz brand deal in early 2025. She starred in Dunkin' Donuts commercials for the Super Bowl. She became a Fortnite playable character. She's modeled for Skims, Marc Jacobs, Alexander Wang, and she signed a fragrance deal with Revlon. And she recently got an acting gig alongside the superstar and legendary actor Denzel Washington.
Me too. I grew up on your work with Bryanne. She sings like that harassed too, so she's a double threat. Good. What part you from? Fordham and Davidson. Well, there you go. I hope to see you again. I hope so too, Mr. King.
You can call me David. You ain't got to call me Mr. King.
I hope so, David.
Okay, I like it. It's okay to be nervous. It's all right. I like it.
I'm gonna hold you to that, promise.
Okay, I bet you will. I got another meeting. It's nice to meet you.
So clearly, corporate America and brands still see her as relevant. I mean, luxury brands don't just invest in artists they see as irrelevant. And it seems her label strategy has been deliberate. They paced her releases, stacked her debuts with big features, and are still keeping her visible at award shows and festivals. It seems that her team has successfully turned her into more than just a rapper due to her declined success in her music. They now have made her a brand, a fashion figure, and a pop culture personality. Now, some fans feel she's overexposed and feel as if she's just throwing her name wherever it sticks, but in terms of deals and visibility, she seems to be thriving and doing just fine. Now, the backlash is clearly very loud, with critics saying that she's repetitive, memes mocking her, and all these controversies trying to take her down, but the girl still has fans and she still is landing major partnerships, and she is only 24 years old. Oh wait, I think she's 25 now, because I feel like our birthdays are just like right apart, so I think she's 25 now, but she seems to be doing pretty well, though her music isn't as successful anymore. I also want to add in another component of the decline of Ice Spice's fame having to do with her losing weight very rapidly. Now, this is not a bad thing. I'm all for women that want to get more into fitness and want to feel better about themselves and their body, despite men saying that they may prefer a thicker body. I think we should do what's best for our bodies. However, when it comes to Ice Spice gained a lot of her popularity and her fan base due to her having a very voluptuous and bodacious body. I mean, her song Munch that came out, she was showing off her body, and that's what everybody would talk about. She was curvy, very thick. So when she decides to lose weight, that does kind of tamper with her brand due to her being more a part of the male gaze, and also contributing to the fact that she mainly gained popularity due to her body. This is not to say she is not attractive. This is not due to say that she's not talented, but a lot of her fame, if we're being honest, came from how curvy she was. So I think that was another contributing factor as to why she no longer is as popular as she once was 2 to 3 years ago.
I was gonna say, but I don't think Ice Spice fell off for music reasons. It was really because she lost weight. Don't get me wrong, she got small.
I mean, yeah, she blew up off what, Munch?
What are you saying? Her shaking her ass and she
like that was her before the label money and all that, I'm assuming. You branded yourself as that. I've seen a couple of her performances. She doesn't really have like a stage presence. She doesn't really dance. Like she would just shake ass. So then it's like, now what?
But I think that leads for you guys to answer that question for yourselves. Do you think that Ice Spice's career is officially a flop? Do you think that she's going to get back her music success? Or do you think she's just going to be a pop culture icon, kind of like Saweetie, who we can do a separate video on, because I'm actually really curious and would love to do a video on Saweetie's downfall or whether or not she's popular or not. But you guys, that is the end of today's video. And as always, like I stated, I like to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think that Ice Spice is a flop? Do you think her career is done? Do you think that she's ever going to evolve? Do you like her? Let's get it going on in the comments down below. Remember, we're on the road to 300,000 subscribers, so please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, okay? Let's get us to 300K, and remember, there will be a giveaway when we hit that number. But you guys, I love and I appreciate you all so very much, and I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own name. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name. Release all of your burden.